Okay, welcome MegaWhale team to another video. Today's video is going to be about Dusk. Now before we get started, I was actually thinking about joining Wolves of Crypto and jumping into some live streams when we hit about 1,000 subscribers. I haven't considered too much, but before I even made my YouTube channel, that was the avenue I was actually planning on going down. I was more interested in doing live streams so I can build a bit more connection with you guys and my followers and my VIP members rather than just doing these single standalone videos. Although, of course, everything I provide here is very much relevant, very beneficial to you guys, and regardless of whether it's a live stream or a standalone video, the information is going to be more or less the same. It's just packed in a different way. So with that being said, let's get stuck into the video. We're going to be taking a look at Dusk network today. Looking at the chart, it is incredibly obvious what is going to occur for Dusk. This is one of those charts where you instantly look at and you have a very good idea what's going to happen. I'm not in the slightest bullish right now for Dusk network. It had a very parabolic move in that last quarter of 2021. We saw a very strong move from November. Just take a look at November, upwards to an all-time high. It went up around 7.7 times in value, which is very significant. It actually outperformed a lot of coins in the market. And like I said before, especially with coins like Solana and FTM, these coins that move up quickly and move up strong, they generally crash down the same way. So we've seen a very significant move downwards from that point. We've now seen 55% down and a 60% low, and we can definitely go down to about 70%. So before we get started, descending wedges. What are descending wedges? Well, a descending wedge is when you have two trend lines, a support and resistance, both pointing in a downwards direction, and they are converging as time goes along. So converging means the price, the distance between the trend lines, so you have here distance and distance here, decreases as the time goes along. So get these smaller and smaller swings, and eventually it will consolidate and it will choose a direction to break upwards or break downwards. Very brief overview of descending wedges. I'm going to be doing a learn to trade descending wedge video soon to explain it in more detail, but I have covered it a lot in most of my videos. It is probably one of my personal favorite patterns, if we're talking about macro structures, to trade, because they are very predictable. They generally develop over a period of time, so it gives you a little bit of time to analyze the chart and prepare your strategy. And the success rate for upward breakouts on descending wedges, I believe, is like 89 to 91%. The question is, how much or how high will it go when it breaks out? That's a whole nother story, but will it break upwards? There's a very high statistical chance that they do break upwards. So we're looking at Dusk network here, we see a descending wedge. Automatically, I'm thinking, okay, well, this is a potential trade. The question is, when will I enter? And we're looking at a few levels here. So these red lines here are our major resistances. As you can see, that 67.7 is our trigger. What does a trigger mean? It means that if we break above this level and maintain above this level, we are now officially in a new uptrend. All right, a new uptrend. We've cleared that local high. All right, we've cleared these major resistance levels, these support and resistances. We are confident that if we get over that level, the price will continue in an upward trajectory. It's very unlikely we break that level and crash back down. It's not very likely. All right, so we've cleared a major resistance zone. What we're looking at here, we just recently actually lost that 55 cent support range, which actually propelled us downwards, and we are going to continue downwards here. So what I'm expecting to see is a retest of this local low at around 50 cents on this initial drop. We might find some relief down there. We might find a little bit of relief around this zone. As you can see here, we have had a bit of relief in that zone and a bit of resistance in that zone previous to where the price action is here. So if we have to bring up the volume profile, we'll see that this zone here historically has a lot of buying volume. It has a lot of buying, a lot of price action in this zone. It's going to be likely that we find a little bit of support here. But in saying that, if we do drop lower, which the chart suggests we will crash on down into this range here. Now this gray box is where I would be looking for an entry for a potential scalp. Now I say that because my long-term entry, or an entry I'd be looking at with more confidence, would be over 2 points. Point number one, a break and retest of 67. And point number two, a retest of this wedge when we break upwards. Those will be my two entry points to trade. If you want a scalp trade, you can put a buy order on this trend line here. So somewhere along this trend line, we can see something like this where we get a liquidity wick down, it spikes up, you can make yourself an easy 10%. All right, very, very low risk. You put your stop loss just underneath. Alternatively, you can buy in this gray box. The reason I had this gray box up, we can move to a 1-day chart to show you. This gray box, and it doesn't extend, but we can extend it, has been a major resistance and support zone, basically for Dusk, basically forever, essentially. We've seen this zone act as a major support in this initial, I wouldn't say bull market, but this initial bullish cycle we saw at the start of the year. We found resistance and we found a lot of support for about a month in this range. All right, we move forward, mid-November, we found a lot of resistance in this range here. We finally broke out of that range. We went absolutely parabolic. All right, I'm expecting a retest of that range. I'm expecting support, and I'm expecting a move upwards. I expect something like that. All right, we showed you what we expected. The reason why I say this range is very important, because if we drop below this range, we will have a catastrophic breakdown, similar to what we saw here. All right, we can definitely see a break downwards back into this. I'm going to highlight it for you guys, back into this range somewhere around here. All right, this will be a very catastrophic breakdown, similar to what we saw in April 2021. And the issue of that is, if this actually occurs, it is very hard to say when we will be moving back up. We can move sideways for a very, very long period of time. We could bottom out for a full bear market for like 6 months and just moving sideways until we decide to break over our range again. Of course, we're not looking at that now. Well, what we're looking at now is when can we enter our short term. We are expecting, obviously, the market to turn bullish at some point. We don't think it's going to happen. We don't think we're going to break down past this gray box for now, at least. For now, we're looking at that gray box for an entry point. So I'm not going to be taking a look at too many other technical indicators today. I don't feel the need to. I think looking at this chart and looking at the support and resistances and looking at how the chart action and the price action is moving, it is very easy to tell where this price is going. I don't feel the need to sift through 20 different indicators to only come to the same conclusion. If I brought up any indicator right now, I could probably tell you that it's probably showing bearish signs or is showing signs of price continuation or consolidation or any sideways action. For example, here, again, we're under resistance, we're under our Ichimoku clouds, under our baseline, under our conversion line. It doesn't look good. It just looks like we're pushing sideways. I can bring out the bull market support band. Same thing. Underneath it, this is a 6-hour chart. If I brought it to a 1-day chart, it even exaggerate what I'm saying. Here we go, we're under on the daily. So there's not always a need to analyze 50 different indicators to come to a conclusion. Sometimes the only thing you need to actually identify is the overall trend. The trend of a market will tell you a lot more than technical indicators will, because technical indicators, guys, they're an extrapolation of the chart price. Right? They're extrapolation of the market movements. Therefore, most of the time, technical indicators are lagging to some degree. Trading the trend and understanding the trend is how you trade with indicators well. If you understand the trend and you can identify where the price will be going within the trend, then you can identify when and when not, or should I say, when technical indicators provide accurate and false data, because sometimes the data that technical indicators provide is lagging. All right, it depends on how the movement of the trend is going. So if you can identify that we are in a downtrend, if you see a bullish crossover on the MACD or whatever, and we're still in a downtrend, it doesn't mean you should buy. It doesn't mean you should buy. So that's what I'm talking about, is false indicators. They are lagging, so sometimes small price movements can have minimal effects or drastic effects depending on the time frame we're looking at. But what we're looking for before we look to enter is a breakout and a move upwards. We're looking for a new uptrend to form. When we have that new uptrend forming, then we're going to be taking a look at the indicators, and we use those indicators to support our theory that we are now officially in an uptrend. When our indicators now support our theory that we're in an uptrend, that's when we know we have that green light to look for an entry in the market. Right now, we're in a downtrend. Our technical indicators support that fact that we are in a downtrend. Why would you be looking to enter? And that's the whole problem with the market right now. People are trying to just jump in the market because it's cheap. And I've been telling you guys for weeks that just because an asset is cheap, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean it's a good entry. With that being said, guys, I'm going to leave it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you've got any questions, leave them down below. Remember, our link to our Twitter and our Telegram are in the description. We have, I think, another 24 hours left in our VIP sale. We only gave away 10-20% discounts. We only got 2 to give away. We only got 2 left. So jump into the Telegram link, contact me via Telegram and take advantage of our 20% off. We've got 2 discounts to give, and I hope to have you guys around for 2022. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.